This conference will now be recorded.
Around 6 data types, 6 or 7.
Okay. So, so yesterday we discussed, right, how to create visualizations and all. So now we have a couple of requirements. So every time we are showing category, subcategory wise, the respective sale amounts. So I don't want to see all subcategories list. I want to see the subcategories list who made highest sales in the business. For example, top three subcategories list want to display in the report. Let's make that report as top three. So how to get top three subcategories? We are able to showcase data in the report. Now drag the subcategory to the filter section. Here we have all option, right? We have selected all. You can go with the use all option as well. There is a, if you look at, there are a couple of options here. Under the top, there is an option by field. Here we have an option top and bottom. I'm selecting top. Top how many? I'm selecting top three. This select the drop down here. On which column basis you want to get to top three sales? I mean top three subcategories. Search for that column. Which aggregation you want to select? Let's select the top aggregation. Apply it. Got it? So like the way we can able to show top three subcategories. Again, similarly, I want to display bottom three subcategories. So same procedure. Drag the subcategory and drop it into the filter section. Go with the use all option. This is the top section. Here we have one more option, bottom. Bottom three, same measure, same aggregation. Let's apply this. Now we could see bottom three subcategories. Correct? So like the way we can able to use the functionality of a top section. Got it? So now when you deploy such type of report to the server, users can able to access this section, the white view. This is the report, actual report. They don't see columns, rows, pages, filters and marks. Okay. Now they can able to access when they want to display some other subcategories like top four or bottom four, top five or bottom five. Every time they have to reach out to Tableau development team to make a change in the condition section to redeploy the report to the server environment. This is a repeated process because users don't have selection in these two reports. This is complete a manual report. It is not a dynamic report. User not authorized to select any value. Till now we did not discuss about that part. Now we are going to discuss. Okay. For example, now I'm dragging category to the filters. I want furniture and office supplies. Yes, we can able to do that. Correct. Similarly, I'm going with the usual option of the categories. This is a cat and cat sales. Okay. So you can see here whatever applied, whatever filter you have applied, filters and office furniture and office supplies, only the filtered data users can able to access. Every time users have to reach out Tableau team to make a change in the filter section. Instead of that repetitive part, we are giving flexibility to the user to pass values on its own. Just right click on the filter, select an option show filter. This show filter is also called as a quick filter, is also called as a runtime filter. When you select, you can change the order of filter as well. Just move it to the top, like the way. Okay, so now category shown in the top, subcategory shown in the bottom. So if now along with this report, the filters whatever here being shown, that will be visible to the clients. They can able to select data in the, they can able to pass the values from the filter sections. So now as a user, I'm making change in the category section to furniture or office supplies or technology, or for office supplies technology. Like the way I can able to filter the data. Whereas comes to the subcategories, if you look at, this is a filter is showing all 17 subcategories by default. When I'm making a change in the category section, it has to display relevant values. Otherwise, as a client, I'm not aware whether accessory is part of which category. Correct. So if you look at, accessories is not part of office supplies. Remaining three are part of office office supplies. So like the way bookcases, chairs, copiers, these are not part of it. So if you're showing extra values, this makes some confusion to the client. Got it? So we have to make more customization to understandable format with the client. For example, when I'm selecting office supplies, if subcategory filter can able to showcase only relevant subcategories list of office supplies, then that will be good. So that's what, I'm going to show you few more options. When you right click on the quick filter, there is an option all values in database. So when this option set all values in database, by default it shows all available values which presented in the database being shown. When you select only relevant values, the relevant values of the previous filter being shown in the subcategory section. Got it? When I'm selecting office supplies, when I deselect office supplies, so subcategory returns a blank because there is no selection made in the previous filter. So I have made this filter as a dependent filter on category. Now I'm making filter selection for furniture. Now you can see furniture data. Now I'm making filter selection for technology. Now this is technology data, from where you can select your required data and you can filter out. So like the way, now users have an access to filter selections. Correct, right? This is the way of a use case of a quick filters. What is this? What filter we are discussing? Show filter or filter or runtime filter. These filters shown in the report at runtime. So users able to pass values from the filter selection. This is possible only when you are creating show filters. If you don't have show filters in the report, no, it's not a possible. Users not authorized to pass, or users not authorized to look at the filtered values from the filter section. Okay, so there are a couple of properties we have for quick filters. Right click on it. So there is an option multiple values list selected here. Correct. So let's go with one by one. This is single value list. So from the list, you can select a single value. You cannot pass For example, I want to pass furniture and office supplies. I'm selecting office supplies now. No, it won't take. It takes only the latest value what you are selecting. But you can pass all. All is one more option we have. It considers all as one value. Got it? So like the way single value drop down. This is a drop down list. So using the drop down, you can able to pass values to the reporter. This is single value slider. This is a slider option. You can able to slide your data by using this right right and left options. Got it? So this is multiple values list. So when you're selecting multiple values list, multiple values list is the default option. So you can select multiple values. Multiple values drop down. Yes, this is a multiple values drop down list. Multiple values custom list. So from here you can able to select. For example, I'm searching for Fernie. Yes, if anything is available with the Fernie, it will be shown. You can select that. For example, of office supplies. Yes, office supplies available. Okay. If you want to remove anything, yes, you can remove it. Let's filter out for technology. For example, I want to display only furniture and technology. Yes, you can remove it by using cross mark selection here. Like the way you can able to filter out your data. Got it? This is with the option multiple values custom list. Next one is wildcard match. For example, this is a direct selection. So there is no selection. You can directly type that technology, for example, TEC, that get filtered into the report. Enter, select the value. Uh, I'm searching. I'm typing tech. Just enter. It dynamically filters your data. This is with the wildcard match. So whatever category is matching with the TECH, that will be filtered out in your resultant. Okay. So like the way we can able to filter our data. So these are the properties of the quick filters. Single value list, so this is also an interview question. So and also this is also an interview question. Okay. So like the way we can able to do this, this is what type of filter it is? Show filter, right? It is a show filter or a quick filter or runtime filter. So at runtime, users can able to pass the values from the filter section called as a show filter. Next, how to make a dependency between the filters? Using the relevant values option, we can able to make a some dependency of a filter selection between the filters. Now we have category and subcategory sales. As I said, we are able to filter out the data. We are able to display top and bottom based on our requirement. Come back to top three and bottom three. Yes, we are showing top three, bottom three. Now users want a dynamic process. User don't want to reach out every time for filter out the top three, bottom three, top four, bottom four. It's a repetitive task to the developers, repetitive ask from the business as well. So users want some dynamic process. User want to pass his own value to the reporter. So in that case, what to do? Is there any way? For example, here we have the show filter. Similarly, do we have any such option to filter the data? We don't have, but this is the value we are passing, right? Select the drop down. Here we have an option, create a new parameter option. What is this parameter? Let's have a look into that. So now I'm giving the naming convention top n para. This is top n para. If you look at the data type is hidden. Why hidden here? Because in this section, just follow my cursor. In this section, you can able to pass only integer numbers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can pass any number. Correct. So display format is normal format. It's just a automatic state. So whatever value you are passing, that will be shown here. Okay. So now what is the current value? Current value, it has taken 3. You can pass any value. Okay. So if you look at allowable values list range, what allow this? For example, when you are in the allow all option, you can able to pass any number from the parameter. Let's go with all option first. Okay. Here what I'm making a selection top in para. Instead of entering value manually, I'm selecting to top in para. Let's apply this. If you look at the parameter is updated in the bottom of the data pane. As I said, what is this? This is the data pane. It is under bottom of the data pane under parameters section. Right click on it. Select show parameter. So now default value set to 1. Now I want to pass 2. Now I want to pass 3. Now I want to pass 4, 5. So using this parameter, I can able to pass a parameter value to the report. It's a dynamic process. Now it is acting as a show filter or runtime filter, but it is not a show filter or runtime filter because you make the filter on available values which coming from the database. Whereas comes to the parameter, this parameter value is not available. It is not coming from the any database, right? You are pulling data from the orders table. It is not coming from the database. So this is the external value we are passing from the database. 6, 5, 4, these are not available in the database table. You derived manually and you are passing the values externally to the report. Correct. Like the way you can able to pass a number to the reporter. To pass a number, no need of any other columns. You can directly pass this value to the respective section here. Got it. So now we discussed about what parameters. What is a parameter? Let's do one thing. This is a top subcat subcat sales. Similarly, I'm creating a report for bottom. Okay. So let's pass again subcategory of the filters. Go with the use all option. Okay. So by field, here I'm selecting to bottom. Here I'm passing top and para. If you look at top and para, the naming convention is top and para, but the parameter is dynamic. Correct. It holds one value. You can use that value anywhere wherever you have requirement. I have requirement here. I'm using same parameter sum of sales. Parameter name is top and para. Is that means is it going to filter out only top in list? Not like that. The naming convention itself only top and para. It holds one value. That value where you are passing, which condition you are passing, that returns the result. Here I'm selecting, here I'm passing that value into the bottom. So obviously it has to filter out the bottom list. Moreover, here we have the parameter. When you go to the sheet 5, here also we have the parameter. If you go to the sheet 6, this is also a parameter. We have the parameter in sheet 6 as well. Like the way wherever if you create any sheet, there will be parameter section available. If any parameter available, that will be used globally throughout multiple worksheets. Throughout multiple worksheets. Just right click on it, select show parameter. The default value is 7. Now I am setting the option to 4. Now these are the 4 subcategories which has the least sales in the business. Now I am setting the value to 3. These are the 3 subcategories. Go back to top subcat sales. Here also it is passing 3. If you changing the value, get reflected in other sheet as well. So these parameters are global variables. It is not restricted to any worksheet. It is not setting the value to any specific sheet. That's the reason parameters called as a global variables which can be used to pass a user defined value to the report. Wherever this parameter used, that passes same value throughout multiple worksheets. Got it? So this is a bottom cat sales. Bottom subcat sales. So now here I have given the naming convention top 3 bottom 3, but comes to here I did not give a top 3 or bottom 3 because here it is a dynamic. Based on my parameter selection it is passing the value. Okay, so now I'm giving a requirement for you. This is the titles we have. So by default it takes a sheet name as a title for the sheet. Okay, I want you to make a change in this section. If you are passing top 4, it has to show top 4 subcat sales. In the bottom also, here it has to show bottom 4 subcat sales. The naming convention has to be changed in both. Got it? So if I'm passing 5, it has to change the dynamic to show this is what is top 5, what is bottom 5. Hope you got the requirement, right?
Yes, Prem.
Krishna Prasanna, you got the requirement, right? Any doubt in the
Yeah.
requirement?
No.
So this is a title where I have to show top 4. I mean, there is one number need to be added here. So like the way we can able to play with the parameters. What is a parameter? Parameter are the global variables which can be used to pass a user defined value to the report. So why it is a global variable? Because parameter can be used globally in any of the worksheet which connected to the same data source. One thing. From the parameter, you can pass value globally to all the worksheets. Same value can be passed throughout all the worksheets. Okay. And it's a variable, it's not a constant. You can change the value in the parameter. Okay. And we are passing, why we are saying user defined value can be passed to the reporter. Yes, it is a user defined value number. It is not coming from the database. I am defining the parameter value on my own. I want to pass 6 now. Yes, I can able to pass. Okay. So for example, let's make a change. Edit the parameter slash bottom. Correct. So like the way you can able to change the parameter name. Now here we have all option. That's the reason you are able to pass any value. Let's go with the list option. In the list, here you need to set the value. How many values you want? For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 is not required. remove the selection. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Let's apply this. Right click on it. So here type in option we have. So let's type in from it 2 3 4 5 6. If you pass a 6 also, it is taking 5 because it is restricted with the, it is created with the list only 5 values. You cannot pass the value 6. So like the way you can restrict your parameter. So when you right click on the parameter, there are a couple of options. One is single value list. So when you are having the list of values, then only this option get enabled. So you can able to pass your value to the report. So one more thing we should understand, parameter is supporting to pass only one value. Parameter is not authorized to pass. Parameter does not allow multiple value selection here. Correct? Compact list. This is the compact list. Here also you can able to pass only one value. This is a slider option. Using the slider, we can pass a value to the report. If you're changing value in one sheet, that will be changes in all the worksheets. Okay, so this is the type in option we discussed. So like the way we have how many properties? Four properties: single value list, compact list, slider, and type in. Like the way we can pass a value to the parameter. So like the way we can able to pass a value from the parameter to the report as well. Okay, so now take one more requirement. In top subcat sales, I'm passing 3. So the same value being passed to bottom subcat sales. I don't want such a same similar selection in both reports. As a user, I want some flexibility. If I want to see top 2 sales and bottom 3 sales, I don't want to pass the same number in the top and bottom. I want to, I need some change in both the values. Like the way set up two sheets for top and bottom. For top, based on his own, he can pass one value, and that is not similar to the bottom. So if I pass 2 in one sheet in top, in bottom I'll pass some other value, not 2. So that selection I want. Here I don't have that. If I'm passing 2 here, if I go back here also, the 2 will be passed. It should not be like this. When I open, it has to show 2, it has to show 3, something like this. Similarly, I can pass any value on my own. It should not similar in both. That is my requirement. Like that set, I'm giving a assignment for you both to create two sheets to achieve the same requirement. Okay, so like the way you can able to work on it. Now you can able to pass. So let's pass subcategory to the filters. Here we have all option we have. Using the all option, what we are passing all the values. Actually, this all is just for selection of all available values. Okay, let's assume there is one more after deploying this report to the server, based on the latest load from the database, there is one more subcategory added, or one subcategory got renamed, so that won't dynamically selected into this filter selection. That's the reason when you have such type of implementation from ETLN, you have to go with the use all option. When you are going with the use all option, there is no custom selection here. Got it? So if any column, if any value on the subcategory renamed, or if any subcategory is newly added with the new names, that dynamically selected from this subcategory filter selection. Got it? So that is a difference between all option. So this is a select from list. From this list, instead of selecting the values one by one, you are selecting all values with a single shot. Whereas comes to the user, in the future references, when you get renamed values, for example, accessories renamed with some other value. Okay, so that value need to be dynamically selected when you open the report, correct? So there is one more new subcategory added to the business, so that need to be dynamically selected into the your filter selection. So in those all cases you have to go with the use all option. I- if you're going with only this all selection, that won't work. All selection is to select only current available values on a single selection or on a single shot. Okay, what is all option? All option is to select all current available values, a single button. Whereas comes to the use all option, in future any value got renamed or any new values added to the report, then those values dynamically selected and shown in the report. This is the use all option. So in the use all option there is no manual interference to select a specific value. For example, right click on it, show filter. Okay, you created this filter with option use all. Okay, here you can able to pass the values, there is no problem with that. Okay, so it's similar to the all option only. So when you are making a change, again you the filter getting changed, right? So whenever again you are redeploying the report, for example, let's take a one scenario case. You created one report with a use all option. Okay, use all option. You deployed this report to the server. So there are few more subcategories added that dynamically selected and shown in the filter section, and everything working fine. Let's take one scenario case. There is some issue identified, some value is incorrect in the report in server. User raised one concern. You downloaded the dashboard from the server into local machine. Again, you opened the same report in Tableau desktop, and you made some changes. Okay, so to test that, you filtered your data manually. Okay, now selected all option. Let's go to edit filter. Okay, so this filter selection, it is not impacting to the use all option, but when you are making the manual selection, okay, if you deploy with the limited values, so that use all option get revoked. So it will select the respective values whatever selected in the runtime filters. So when you are deploying, again you have to select all values, then you have to redeploy the dashboard. Okay, otherwise every time when you are deploying, check the use all option, because you only made changes, value selections in the filter selection in the desktop edition. So when you're deploying, you should be very clear, otherwise it won't be set to default to use all. Got it? So like the way we can able to filter the data. Okay, now Let's place order date to the rows. See, when you are placing a order date to the rows, what is happening? There is a plus label being shown. So as of now, there is no column shown like this with a plus label, correct? So why it is showing like this? Because this is a column default hierarchy year of the order date. If you look at order date actually having the dates of all the orders. But when you are dragging to the report, it is showing year of order date, correct? So it is extracting the years and showing. When you select a plus, it is drilling down to the quarter level. When you're selecting plus, drilling down to the month, day. Like the way date field is default hierarchied at a year level. You can drill it down to quarter, then month, then day. You can drill up again using this minus button. Got it? You can also do this from the visualization. So let's select this place label. You can drill down your data to the required level. You can drill up using minus button like this. Got it? Like the way you can able to create you can able to use order data. Then if it is showing only years, quarters, months separately, how to show exact dates in the report? Yes, we can show exact dates in the report. How? Right click on the column, there is an option exact data, select this. Okay, if you look at order date, by default it is a continuous. Continuous means what? What is a discrete? Discrete means whole values considered as a discrete whole values. So it's not whole value now. It is continuous. Continuous means a axis get created. The axis from 2019 to 2023. If you look at the mark type is Gantt bar. Where is this? This is the Gantt bar. This is the Gantt bar. Gantt bar. Actually, Gantt bar is nothing but it's a bar graph only. But the thing, each value has its own graph point. Here, each date has its own graph point here, bar point. So all together joined, that's the reason when you're looking, it looks like a big bar, but it's not a big bar, it's a combination of all individual bar points. That's the reason when you're hovering the cursor, it is showing some dates. Okay, when a date is continuous, not only the data, if anything is continuous, if anything shown like how I'm saying continuous, how can I confirm it is a continuous? Because the measure pill, the pill of the column shown with a green color, that's the reason it is continuous. When you right click and make a selection to discrete, this is a discrete. Got it? So this is a continuous. Continuous means it has an axis. Continuous, whatever it is, if it is a continuous, it creates an axis. In the axis point, it gives some range of values. Continuous always returns a range of values. So you are in the continuous range, you can able to see first value to last value. But whereas comes to the discrete, all values shown as independent values. Got it? All values shown independent and whole value. This is the whole value, first third 2029. But continuous, it's a range from 1 third 2029 to, it's a continuous process. How line goes similarly 12 30th 2022, like the way continuous works. So this is a discrete. When you want to display the exact value of your data, you can, you have to follow this procedure, exact data, then make a selection to discrete. Got it. So when you are dragging a filter, to the report. Let's create a category, subcategory, sales. Okay, when I'm dragging order date to the filter section, what is happening, it is showing some options. Yesterday we did with the year. So if you select now quarters, yes, quarters. So how many quarters? Four quarters being shown. These four, quarter one means it's not a quarter one of any specific year. It is quarter one of all the years. I have the data from 19 to 22. So 19, 20, 21, 4 years of quarter one information being passed with this Q1 option. If you want to more specific to filter out only 2022 quarter one, then you have to make a selection for 2022 quarter one. Got it? So like the way it got derived when you I'm dragging order date to the filter section. So let's filter out for months. Again it returns 12 months, days, week numbers. So week numbers, how many weeks we have? 1 to 52 weeks, right? 53 based on few, sometimes we will get 53 weeks. Okay, so like the way you can able to filter your specific week one of all the years, week one of all the years. Again you have to filter out your data for specific week of a specific year. Okay, so and also this is when you want to have a selection like month and year selection, yes, you can choose this option. It will shows you month name and year name. Accordingly it makes the selection very clear. When you are making a selection, yes, it shows very clear information, which year which month you are selecting, it shows like this. Okay, let's month day year similarly shown like that. Let's clear out. Okay, so again drag the order data. Here we have individual dates. Individual dates means this how exact dates being shown in the report. Similarly, you can see all the dates in the filter section. So you can manually select any specific date. Got it? So now drag out the date to the filter section. Okay, this is a range of dates. Let's select the range of dates. When you're selecting the range of dates, yesterday we discussed about measure, right? Range of values, because measures are the continuous, so it shows a range of values. Where is that all values? So this is the range because it is continuous, it is a green field. So similarly when you're dragging all the data, when you're selecting range of dates, yes, you have to set what is the relative dates. Relative dates, for example, under the relative dates you have years, quarters, months, weeks, days. One second. Okay, for example, I'm going with the years. Let's apply this. Let's right click on this and select show filter. So this year, why this year? Edit filter, relative dates under the years, the filter selection made for this year. So this year means 2023 we don't have data, correct? So last 3 years, this is the last 3 years. Let's drag order date to the filter report so that it will be clear. 20, 21, 22. Last 3 years means what? 23, 22, 21. The 23 is not available anyway. That's the reason 22 and 21 being shown here. Hope you guys following me, right? Select the drop down. Here you have an option. So how many years? Next 3 years are last 3 years are year to date. So in the current year, year to date, current year's start date to till today's information get filtered using year to date. So when you select year to date, what is the range selected here? First 2023 to September 16th 2023, today's date. This is year to date, we don't have data for 2023. That's the reason it is returning blank. If you select the previous year, this is the previous year. So previous year means it takes complete previous year. 1/1/2022, December 31st 2022. That is a data range of a previous year. So like the way you can filter out similarly for quarters, for months, for weeks, for days. So all the selections are having last, next. Using that you can select how many last years, how many last quarters, how many last months. For example, let's take last quarters, 3. How many selected? 4 quarters I selected. We are in the third quarter, right? So for the current year 3 quarters we don't have data. For 2022 last quarter data it getting filtered. So for more clarity, uh, you can see 2022 quarter 4 information getting filtered. When you select last 5 quarters, 22, Q3 and Q4 being displayed. So like the way it is getting executed. Got it. So previous quarter we don't have data. We are in quarter 3. Quarter 2 of 23 is not available. This quarter, next quarter, next quarter to date. In the quarter to date, current quarter's first date to till today date considered called as quarter to date. What is year to date? Year to date. Current year's first date to till today's date called as year to date. This is a range of date for year to date. Similarly, quarter to date means what? Current quarter's start date to till today called as a quarter to date. Correct. So here, what is a quarter to date? Range 7th 1st 2023, July 1st 2023 to September 16th is called as quarter date. So what is the current quarter? How many months we have in the current quarter? July, August, September. So complete September month will be part of current quarter. Got it? Similarly for month to date, week to date. In a week start day to current week's start day to till today considered as a week date. For example, our weekday starts from 10th. So when is the 10th? This is so week by default Tableau taking week start date as a Sunday. What is the week start day? That is it is showing, right? So week to date, week start day is September 10th. So September 10th, I mean week start day of current week. It's not a previous week. Current week's start date is on 10th. So by default Tableau taking week start date as a Sunday. Don't forget, week start day is a Sunday. That's the reason the range taken 9th 10th 2023 to 9th 16th 2023. Run the similar report tomorrow. It shows a week start day as a 17th 2023 of September. Got it? So like the way we can able to filter out the data. This is for dates. This is a today. Today means this is September 16th is the today data. So like the way we can able to play with the date filters. Okay, so we should practice very properly so that you can understand what all are the things possible when a user reach out to you. This is a range of dates. It's similar to the metric yesterday we discussed about the sales. You can set up what is the start and what is the end dates. For example, see here, when you select this you can have the selection for date selection with the calendar. Okay, using the slider also you can able to slide the data. You can able to set up a start date and end date, and similarly you can set a start date. So start date you can set accordingly, there is no end date. So all available data get selected till max dates we have in the database. But start date you can set how from which month you want data, accordingly you can set up this. I want to from January 1st to 2020. Yes, you can set up. You have a filter selection from left side but not to the right side. Right side what is the last that being filtered. This is ending date, so you can set up the end date till how what is your end date. You can set up a start date is a constant, that is first third 2019. Special, under the special same. So when a date column is written from the database, there might be a chance to have null values. Do you want to display null values in the report, or do you want to exclude null values and show only the dates, non-null dates, or do you want to show all dates from date column? Accordingly you can set up. Got it. So like the way you can able to filter out your data. So one more thing, when you are making continuous filter range date filter selection, so you set your option special values, right? So again when you are deploying, it takes this date range. So again you should make a change to clear the filter selections before to deploy the report, otherwise the custom selection will be taken. So every time you have to select all dates. So when you're playing with the this date selections in your local machine, you should not deploy like this. Again you should clear out the filters. Okay, so again you have to recheck whether this option set or not, then deploy the report. Got it? So like the way you can able to filter with the date columns.
Yeah, Prem, one
Okay.
question. On the top, we can see there's a year update, right? It's a hierarchy. So
Yes.
during the deployment, we have to expand this uh, as per requirement, or we can keep this year of order date.
So whatever you are doing, that is complete based on the requirement. How client want. If client want to display only the years, you can use it. Okay. Sometimes
Okay.
here we have the hierarchy. So you are able to drill it down and drill it up. Correct. So if a
Mhm.
client wants only year and quarter level, yes, you have to make a selection like this. So
Okay.
how
Okay.
client wants, accordingly we have to make a change. So we should not take our own decision. So calculation part, the changes, the filter selections, whatever you are making here, that is up to developer point. Client doesn't know about this, all of this. What you want, what is I'm displaying, what you are displaying, what client want. So how the client want this selection, accordingly you should set up your filters. How you want, we have to set up and we have to deploy it. Okay, so like the way we can able to work with the date filters. Got it?
So let's say,
So
example, client don't want to show see this year. So is it possible to remove year from year, or they only want to see the quarters, not years? So
yeah, remove it. Just right click on the column, remove it.
uh, okay, 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 great.
Okay, so like the way you can able to set up. Anyway,